नाज़रीन, फौरी खबर आपसे शेयर करें। मामले खसूसी पेट्रोलियम नदीम बाबर तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे हैं, आपको दिखाते हैं।
Coal was the fossil fuel that drove the industrial revolution for more than 250 years. But then came the advent of oil. And while coal did not disappear, oil started replacing coal as the fuel of choice because it was more flexible. Perhaps it was cleaner at that time also. Maybe that was a consideration. And that went on probably for more than 100 years, until about 20, 30 years ago, a recognition started coming along that natural gas, which was not a new fuel, it had been around for a while. But the recognition started coming in that natural gas, it was time for natural gas to take over from oil. And as the global warming concerns started setting in, gas becoming the future fuel to run the global economies started becoming more and more apparent. And this will continue for a while. I'll probably be dead and gone by that time, but at some point the era of gas will also end. It will still remain the fossil fuel of choice, but it may not remain the primary fuel driving the global economies. And that will probably be renewable energies at that point. But clearly, in the lifetimes of most of the people here, the working lifetimes, next, let's say 2 to 3 decades, natural gas is the fuel of choice for the world. Now, in this context, let's see what was happening in Pakistan. Not by design and not by choice, but starting late 50s and early 60s, Pakistan discovered some large reserves of gas compared to its demand at that time. So just by happenstance, call it pure luck, call it providence, Pakistan has been a gas country for the last 60 years. And there was a time when gas constituted close to 60% of the primary energy BTUs used in this country. And that is one of the highest in the world. So while the world was burning coal or oil, Pakistan was burning natural gas. And that is one of the reasons you see that the carbon footprint and the level of air pollution in Pakistan compared to the size of its population is still very small. Now that doesn't mean that we now go and squander away the natural advantage that we got by happenstance or by providence. But it does mean that we did squander away our reserves and we wasted them a lot. But even today, gas constitutes about 46-47% of the primary energy in Pakistan. Still one of the highest percentages in the world. But where do we go from here? Well, we've had lapses. Let's acknowledge it. Our E&P policies have not kept pace with the gas demand. And as a result, whatever we produce domestically, which is what we had relied upon until about 5 years ago, entirely, those reserves are either stagnant or dwindling, and our demand is rising. And the gap, therefore, has to be filled by imported gas. Yes, we are working on some pipelines, but LNG is the choice for imported gas in the immediate future. The reason I've gone through this background is that you all have to understand that the future, the next 2-3 decades, maybe a little longer, for global economy is going to be focused on gas as the fossil fuel to be used in every segment of the society. And it is in that context that you are looking at this sector providing you bread and butter, and where does it go from here? अब मैं आपको कुछ और उर्दू में कुछ बातें कहूँगा. आज अगर आप पाकिस्तान की पिछले साल की टोटल टैक्स कलेक्शन देखें तो तकरीबन 4000 अरब थी, और अगर आप पेट्रोलियम सेक्टर को देखें तो सिर्फ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस की मद में तकरीबन 1000 अरब टैक्सेस जो है, तकरीबन 25% टोटल टैक्स कलेक्शन के वो पेट्रोलियम सेक्टर से आए. और इसमें मैं इनकम टैक्स शामिल नहीं कर रहा, मैं इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस की बात कर रहा हूँ. अगर आप स्टॉक मार्केट को देखें तो जो पेट्रोलियम डिवीजन के अंडर कंपनियां हैं, जिसमें 6 या 7 बड़ी पब्लिकली ट्रेडेड कंपनी हैं, जैसे OGDC, सुई कंपनीज, PSO, ये तकरीबन स्टॉक मार्केट का 1/3 है. शायद मेरी जगह कोई और खड़ा हो तो वो इधर इन फिगर्स पे बहुत इतराए और कहे कि जी इससे इतनी हमने कंट्रीब्यूशन की मुल्क की मईशत में. और मैं इस चीज़ को गलत नहीं ठहराऊंगा, लेकिन मैं इसको दूसरे पैराए में देखता हूँ. ये सेक्टर इससे दुगनी कंट्रीब्यूशन कर सकता है. ये सेक्टर इस इकोनॉमी को बहुत तेज़ी से लिफ्ट कर सकता है. ये सेक्टर GDP में 2-3% ग्रोथ दे सकता है, लेकिन ये नहीं हो रहा. क्यों नहीं हो रहा? इसके ना होने की 2-3 बेसिक वजह हैं. आप शायद सोच रहे हो कि मैं ये आपको लंबी लंबी कहानियां क्यों सुना रहा हूँ, लेकिन एंड पे आपको अंदाज़ा हो जाएगा कि ये जो मैं आपको बातें बता रहा हूँ इनका डायरेक्ट लिंक है उन डिसीजन से जो हमें अपनी इकोनॉमी की बेहतरी के लिए करना है, और इनका डायरेक्ट लिंक है